What's up, guys? Holding Alex with you here, bringing you Black Clover anime review. This was episode 65, titled "I'm Home." This was a very, very good episode. It continued off with the witch, thinking to herself how she lost to Vanessa, and she contemplates about the past, and she remembers a time where she actually didn't have Vanessa locked up in the cage at one point in the beginning of her life, and how she used to treat her as like a daughter. And Vanessa and her had this real close bond, and she even states to herself, because of my obsession with perfection, I locked her away and I didn't get the chance to show her a power that you can have when you're not perfect. And basically that power is the power of love and friendship. That's technically where she was going with this. And she told Vanessa, she told Vanessa, the queen, told her, you know what, you won, you're free, do what you want. And after that, she used the blood cocoon again. But this time, her blood cocoon covered up the whole mountain/forest of the witch area. And she heard everybody, Mars, Faina, the other Diamond Knight guy, Landris, Zell, Fenril, Vanessa, Asta, all of them. She healed everybody in the world. Everybody was healed. Even her own witches that got hurt was healed, and the forest came back to normal, I guess you could say. She even hit the forest with her blood cocoon. She hit everything and everyone. And then she just walked away, and Vanessa was shocked. Like, did she really quit? I won? And then we had this real cute moment where Noelle cries, and she walks up to her and she hugs her and she says, yeah, we won, thanks to you, Vanessa, and your magic, we won. And Vanessa was like, no, thanks to all of yous, I was able to unlock this magic and use it so we can win. So this is our win, not just mine. But when she's saying this, she's looking at Asta, so it's like, she's like, recognizing that thanks to Asta being here, he's the key catalyst for all of them being together and being as strong as they are and evolving and fighting together. So that was a really good moment. Then they all head back to the main palace where the queen's at, and the queen explained to them, because they asked her, they came here for a jewel, and do you know anything about Third Night Sun Clan? And she told her, the queen told them that this earring that I have is the jewel that powers up one's magic tremendously, but only people of the elf clan can use it. And then she throws it at them and she said, you guys have to have it. And they were very shocked that they got it so easily. But they was also shocked when they found out about elves. And this is when things get very interesting in the episode. She explains to them that the elf clan had very, very strong magic. Everyone in the elf clan. She said most of the elves in the elf clan had their magic level close to hers. And in my personal opinion, I rank her up there with Lush, the Diamond Kingdom, and even our king, the Wizard King. I put them all up there in the same category, like top dogs of the anime for this anime. So the fact that all these elves were also in that level, yeah, that shows why they were so deadly and strong and stuff like that. And it was just amazing to see how strong these guys are, and the fact that this once powerful clan was taken out by the humans. Because even though these elves clan was very strong, the problem was they didn't have many members in the clan. So the humans, being this what they are and always populating and having a whole bunch of people, decided to band together and annihilate the elves and took over that supposedly kingdom, or destroy that kingdom, I should say, which was called the Outer Realm Kingdom. And we also find out that the leader of the king of the elves, or the leader I should say, we didn't get to see his face, but we saw his back, and he looked just like Lich, the leader of the Midnight Sun. And on top of that, we found out that he had two magical swords, and Asta's two swords, the Demon Roaring Sword and the Negating Roaring Sword, are actually copies, or maybe actually are the same ones that the one he was using. And Asta's head just blew up, and as you see in the thumbnail, he just fell to the ground, and it was just too much information for him to deal with. And you have this funny moment of Fenrir there saying, I'm gonna be a reporter, I'm gonna get a whole bunch of points when I go back and report to Yami. And he's making all these intelligent reports about what's going on and stuff that he's been through. He's the one, basically, he teleports everybody back and forth, and he's an intel person as well. That's mainly his two jobs, intel and transportation. So, you know, he's gonna get a lot of bonus points when he goes back to the kingdom with that information. But that was just hilarious seeing Asta laid out and everyone saying, you know, get up Asta, oh it's too much for him, he's out cold, he's done, blah blah blah. Then we had everybody saying farewell to each other. You know, the witch of the forest, she made this antidote for the king to be healed, and it just, that's all it does, it just heals him. It's not gonna give him long life. But Mars just told Asta that I'm gonna lie to him and tell him this gives you long life, and then I'm gonna try to work my way up to the top to like change the Diamond Kingdom so it could be a country of, you know, peace instead of war. And you had Landros next time saying, yeah, I'm gonna help, ha ha ha. And everyone is like, can we trust you? Then Landros, he has an inner dialogue between himself and he says, Asta, I want to become someone that you can one day appreciate and call friend. So he didn't say it out loud, but he was thinking to himself, and we were able to read the subtitles of it. So it's nice that he joined. You know, I like how he joined. It's like, yeah, it's typical bad guy turned good at a friendship speech, but at least with Loudred it made sense because he was under manipulation of a jewel from the Diamond King like everybody else that was making him, you know, like that. Naturally, he was just a sad kid who didn't have anybody, so it makes sense for him to finally have friends and now turn good. Unlike in other animes that does the same thing and it feels awkward. But after everyone said bye to each other, you have this one sentimental scene where the queen tells Vanessa, you're free, but don't forget this is your birthplace. You can come by and visit whenever you want. And Vanessa just walks away without saying anything. But then later on she says thank you, and someday I will return. So believe me, even though we probably won't see the witch for a while and her people, eventually we're going to see them again. Whether at the end of the series when a war breaks out, or whenever, or I don't know, maybe they come back for vacation, who knows, or OVA, or moving in the future, who knows, but eventually we will see the witch again and her people, so I like to see that in the future as well. But they go back and they report to Yami everything that happens, and we had this really hilarious moment where, like, first off, it starts off with Magna and Luck. They come in looking like Super Saiyan. One is like Super Saiyan on fire, and the other one looks Super Saiyan with electricity there all over them. And they just keep rumbling and rumbling how they were going through pain and death in the dungeon. But they keep thinking of Asta, and they kept on pushing their limits, and they just kept on. And they babbled and babbled. And Asta was like, hey guys, I got my arm fixed. And they all started hugging him, saying, oh yeah, you got your arm fixed. Good for you, little punk. And then Luck was like, oh, okay, cool, let's fight to the death now. And Asta was like, no. Then you had Gordon and Goosh come in, and they looked like archaeologists, and they had these glasses, and they were known as the artistic versions of them. And their dialogue changed as well, and they were like saying, Asta, we're sorry, we couldn't find anything to help you, but we're gonna keep trying and trying and trying. And he was like, you guys, your personality changed too, but it's okay, 'cause I got my arms back again. And then they went back to normal clothes and normal acting. And we had some very interesting dialogue from Gordon. Gordon was like, when you were studying to help Asta, you would nosebleed a couple of times. When you was thinking about Asta, that means you think and you care for Asta as you do your sister, which means he's part of your family. And since I'm friends with Asta, that makes me friends with you, which means I'm part of your family as well. And it was just a funny, cute moment between the black boys and all. And the same thing happened again with Gray and Chummy. When they came back from their mission, they had got cursed with mushrooms growing out their bodies. And they kept on eating these mushrooms because they were hungry. But the mushrooms just kept on growing back, and they were just a back and forth story between them. It was good though, and funny. And Asta was like, hey, I got my arms back. Then Captain Yami was like, look, I gave Asta his week break because his arms are healed, and we have all this food and drink. Let's throw a party. So they throw a party, and everything is cool and whatnot. And even though Yami told Asta he's supposed to be on break and he gets no missions, he was still telling him to do all the chores around the house. Clean clothes, clean the rooms, dust the rooms, prepare food for his animals downstairs in the basement, clean up dishes and all that other stuff. And the Black Bull's territory is a really big, oversized library/mansion, so Asta had to do all that by himself. So that within itself is a mission and a half, But Asta was so happy to have his arms back, he ain't mind. He did everything with pride and a smile. Then we had this final scene with Vanessa and herself having a cute smile, and she took off, her clothes, and she goes to her undergarments, and you see her hugging Vanessa, and Erin Finrose looking at her like shocked and surprised, and she's like, "Yep, this is home. This is where I belong." And that was the end of the episode. This was a very good episode, Black Clover 65. I loved it a lot. Can't wait to see the witches again and the queen in the future. I can't wait to see what else everybody else learned, because everybody was on different missions doing things. So we know not Gordon and Gooch got knowledge from being in the library. We know Magna and Luck got a way power boost in their power levels. And then Chummy and Gray, we don't know exactly what they got from their mission, but eventually that will be revealed. And we know Asta got his new Black Asta form. Vanessa has more control Noelle has more control of her water dragon, and Vanessa has that new Destiny Cat string that can control Destiny. So, and Finril is just Finril, so he's gonna be hopefully the next character to get a power up. Since Jami, their captain, was the first, and everyone else now got theirs. So, but yes, this was a very good episode, very heartfelt. A lot of info dumping, but it was done in a good comedic way, so it wasn't boring. I can't wait to see because it was hinted that the Elves clan, that the Midnight Sun might be descendants off of them. So that I can't wait to see in the future what pops off with that, and to see if Lich, the leader, is actually a descendant of these people. I mean, he does kind of look like an elf, and we know his magic is equal to our captain's, so I wouldn't really be surprised. It was also stated too that Fenrir was being controlled with that third eye, and someone else had it activated by a sacrifice, and it was an ancient forbidden spells that the elf used. And we also find out something very else important, and I almost forgot to mention. We find out that the demon that was summoned a couple years back, that the original Wizard King had a fight, that's also an ancient spell. So the elves probably had cast that on the humans after the humans betrayed and killed all their people off. That might have been a curse from that. So there's a lot of interesting things going on, and a lot of links and connections so far going on. But really great episode. If you haven't watched it, I advise you to watch it. It was awesome. If you really watched it, go watch it again. Really good episode. I can't stress it enough. But I can't wait to see what happens next episode, because we got a new opening and ending, and then the new opening, we see a glimpse of like certain wizards that we already seen in the kingdom fighting each other. And in the end of the opening, we see Asta in his back mode attacking Finral's brother, who also has spatial magic. But then in the ending, we see this kid, he's not a kid, he's a grown man. We see this grown man with like black leather stripes wrapped in it, like a glass man on his face, and he has red pushed back hair. Look like a young Eisen with red hair. And we see him in the ending, and they show him a lot in the ending. And we've seen him like once or twice in the opening of this new opening and ending that we have. So I'm surprised. Is he with the Black Bulls or with the Diamond Kingdom, with the Clover Kingdom period? Could we see him there, but he has no coat on, but we know he's a wizard. Or maybe he's not. Maybe he's an assassin. Who knows? But we see him a lot in the ending. And another thing we see is Momona. We see her dancing in the ending, and her clothes is different. She's like in a nightgown. So, and the ending, the new ending we have, actually ends off with Asta with a sword like this on his back, walking, and he has Momona and that guy with the red hair. He actually has them both behind him walking. So, are they gonna be on a mission together? Who knows? But this was a very interesting episode. The endings and the opening was beautiful music, beautiful graphics and animation. Everything was good about this episode. Again, I just can't stress it enough. But please tell me your thoughts, comments, and opinions down below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you can get the notifications whenever I post stuff. And tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, and share with your family and friends. But that's all I have for you guys. I'll catch you the next time. Peace. Have a good one.